Okay, I got these wooden door cappings off the taxi, and as you can see, quite poor condition with a lacquer peel. I did start to rub it back a little bit there, but obviously the easiest and quickest way is to apply heat and chip all this off with a chisel. If we get a heat gun on there, or even a little blowtorch, heat it up, chip it off, get it back to bare wood. I've done this one in readiness. This is the other side. So all the lacquer's off. I just had a very quick sand, so it's pretty smooth. I'll give it another quick go over, ready for reapplying the lacquer. I'm actually intending to use a clear resin instead of a lacquer this time. Give a harder wearing surface. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, let's get this one stripped back, looking like this one, and go on to the next step. So I've done. I've got my torch. Actually heated this up. Some people use a heat gun and chisel, which I've tried, but heat this up and it actually bubbles up the lacquer and it chips off nice and easy. So I'm going to do this and come back to you in a minute. I don't know what this was, whether it was painted on, sprayed on, or sort of coat varnish or whatever it was, but it responds quite nicely to heat gun, even catching it on fire a little bit, bubbling up, and then it just pickles up and comes off. So yeah, that's working well and it's quite quick, so I'm going to continue that method until it's all clear. So yeah, actually get it on fire and then take it outside and chip it off like that, and it falls off a treat. Okay, yeah, so the lacquer has come off okay on this. I wouldn't necessarily advise trying that method with the flames every time. It just so happened to work quite well for me. All depends on what you're dealing with, what your wood is, what your lacquer is. It's sprayed or painted or whatever. I'm not too precious about these trims anyway, so if they did go wrong I wouldn't necessarily be worried about it, so I thought I'd give it a go. It just worked quite well for me. The flame literally pickled up the material and then I scraped it off. So it's great. So I'm going to go over this now with the sander, get them smoothed down and ready to recoat. Okay, so both of these wood door cappings are now all sanded back, nice and smooth. There's a couple of little dinks and chips in them, but like I say, I'm not too worried. I'm pretty much doing this as just a bit of a practice and an experiment. So I'm going to get these cleaned off, put a panel wipe on them, mix up some epoxy resin, clear, paint that on and see how it goes. Okay, so these are sanded back, ready to go. I'm going to mix up some epoxy resin and get that painted on there. So obviously there's lots of ways you could do it. Car lacquer, varnish, but I'm going to try the 2-pack resin. Well, you see the difference here already. This is just literally one coat. Mixed up the resin, brushed it on, you can see the difference. So that's gone on really nice, beautiful gloss. I was going to roll it on, but it's gone on really nice with the brush actually, and it will self-level. So let's give it a go. Hopefully that should dry nice, a lovely gloss finish, and it'll be in resin as well. It'll be really hard and resistant to any wear. So yeah, so far really pleased. There we go. So I'm really impressed with that. The roller left a couple of little bubbles actually, so it's easier to brush it. Now, obviously it's not perfect because this is a DIY home job, but you know, these cost thousands to get done properly and professionally, and it's not exactly a Rolls Royce or anything. So if they flatten out and dry and they look like that, for me that's absolutely great, good enough for what I need, and much better than what they were originally. So I'll just update you now once they've dried and once they're on the car. Obviously, depending on how they dry, I could always put a second coat and then, you know, buff it back and polish. Just depends how fussy I want to be. But you know, for a first pass, that looks pretty good to me. So here we go. This is fitted back onto the car, and they look fine. You know, I'm quite pleased with the outcome, and for a DIY job, I'd say that's well done.